Alright, so I'm just going to walk you through the simple process of calibrating the tracker and threading the strap. So, well, let's start out with threading the strap. Now, the strap is very simple. It's got a loop on one end, which is like, let me see if I can get a loop, like, I don't know if you can see through it, but there's a loop on this end, and on the other end there's like nothing, there's a bit of stitching. Now, you take the tracker, all you do is thread the stitched end and not the loop end through the tracker holes or the like strap slits in the tracker, like so. I usually put the loop pretty close to the tracker and pull most of this length through. Now you got the webbing hook. This will probably look very different on the final units. This design isn't very good. I'm gonna have a better design than this. But you have the tracker, you have the outside with the StonX logo, and well, if you threaded a webbing hook before, this is pretty trivial, but if this is the outside of the tracker, you put the strap through the inner hole or slit in the webbing hook, and then you take that through and you put it out the other slit like that. Very simple. Then you can pull this a bit and you have your strap threaded, and you can adjust this like how tight you want it to be. It will like grip on to the strap, so you can adjust how tight you want it to be, and like, you know, depending on your leg and how tight you prefer it, how much blood flow you prefer to have left in your leg. Yeah, so very adjustable, very nice design. Also, it's not Velcro, so it doesn't wear out like Velcro does. Like, it hooks through the loop on the other end, which, well, this will pretty much never wear out. So yeah, these straps will last you a long time. Okay, so to calibrate, make sure the tracker is turned off. You just hold down the button for 5 seconds, like so. It will turn blue. Now it blinks every time it samples. So if you're moving here, where I've already sampled, it won't sample again. So try to move in new directions. This is sampling the magnetometer and calibrates basically the compass function, which keeps this from drifting. Now I recommend doing like a spin in all axes to get a good mixed data. And then for the rest of it, you can go like just fumble around with it. It's not that sensitive to which exact movements you do. You could just fumble around with it to begin with. It usually works. It will go yellow while the FAP engine is processing the information, which takes a couple seconds, and it blinks green and turns off again. Now it's calibrating, and you can turn it on. Like that, your tracker set up. You gotta do this for each tracker before the first time you use them. Yeah, that's all about that. So let's get into the first time setup on your computer. Alright, so I'm not gonna bore you with the details of putting on all the trackers, but basically, it's using a webbing hook. You can see, like this, it goes very simply in the loop here, but like so. So, just put that on, like so. Now, I've decided with these, like this one, you know, I placed all these with lights up. If you're wondering why this is so dim compared to this, it's because we're missing a light guides on some. But this one has light guides, so you can very clearly see the lights. Now, okay. So just to mix things up, I'm going to put this with lights down, this one's lights up. I'm going to put this on front, I'm going to put this on the back. Just to mix things up, it doesn't, like, just to show that it doesn't really matter as long as the tracker is on the correct limb. So, let's get into VR. Alright, there we are. Now, I'm gonna start with launching the Cacao software. And my dongle is already plugged in. I know, amazing. How I prepared this. Haha, convenient. Okay. So, we're in SteamVR. Just gonna view the desktop here. And, okay, one-time setup. So one-time setup is these 3 first ones. So, I'm just gonna walk you through it. So tracker assignment. Assign which tracker is which on your body. This is very easy. You press begin assignment and then it asks you to press the chest tracker. It also highlights the chest tracker here. So you can easily see which one it is. I'm gonna press it. It's on my back, so it's a bit inconvenient. I like having the trackers on my back, okay? Don't judge me. It doesn't matter if you put it on front or back, but I like it. And the back. So I'm just clicking the button on each tracker as it's asking me to. So right thigh, I press the right thigh. Left shin, I click the button on the left shin, and so on. Super simple, very quick to do. Alright, let's move into body calibration. Now, we're gonna have to add a tooltip to primary hormone, but it's very simple. You want to select which hormone you had mainly during puberty. I know you have both, but the one you had the most of when you went through puberty. And no, this does not correlate to sex. It's more complicated than that, actually. That's why we write primary hormone. It's surprisingly complicated. It's a whole rabbit hole in itself. Okay. Oh yeah, by the way, I went to Automagic. This automatically grabs your height. For some reason, it doesn't work that great, but you can just go back to manual and adjust your height. Now, if you don't like metric, you can switch to Imperial. Imperial doesn't have a plus and minus button for now. I'm gonna add it. But okay, so super simple. It also, based on the country you're in, it also automatically switches between metric and Imperial by default. Now you want to do Playspace Calibration. Playspace Calibration, very simple. You want to do the eye pose. This illustrates the eye pose. You just want to stand up with your feet facing forward like this. When you stand normally, you usually have them a bit spread out because it's more comfortable. You don't want to do that. You want to have them straight forward, your legs straight down, so maybe like this. And you want to look straight forward in the direction you're facing. So we're going to grab the eye pose, like so. I usually like to hold my hands forward. It helps direct your head in which direction your body is facing. Now I'm going to do the same for... Oh, you can see my Playspace is already pretty much calibrated. So I'm gonna do the same for L pose, but it's basically the eye pose, but you're sitting down. So your legs forward like this, face with your head in the same direction, and just press sit L pose. I like to do the same thing here. Use my hands to kind of direct my head which direction my body is facing. So last step. Tracker calibration. This one, also very simple. It's the eye pose, we did it earlier, but we're gonna have to do it again. We're done with the one-time setup. This thing, the last step you have to do before every session. It's very simple though, especially once you get used to it. Just stand like this, feet forward, legs straight down, face the direction your body is facing. And calibrate trackers. Use my hands to kind of guide my head. And we're all set. Look, tracking, yay. Okay, so then you can just start up any social VR game like VR Chat, Chill Out VR, Neos. Blade and Sorcerer is not a social VR game, but it also works, and so on. You know, start up any full body tracking game, right? You know how it goes. You got the full body tracking now. This is all. This is like the first time setup. That's literally how simple the first time setup is. And the only step you have to do for every time you play after that is the last step in the calibration process, which we did, or like the setup process, and that's just doing the eye pose. You have to do it before every session, and so it usually takes the eye pose. Once you get used to it, eye pose usually takes about 5 seconds to do. But as you can see, we gotta obviously calibrate the FPT, the stand, like so. And see, full body tracking. Let's go. Yeah, so that's all I have for you today. That's our first time setup process. Pretty simple. Yeah, so see you in the next video, which will be an in-depth look in our hardware. Yeah, bye-bye.